Yo, what up? It's me, Cute Fuzzy Weasel, and I just drove for 4 hours straight. Set up lights in a building, moved around some stuff, and I got work in the morning. So let's play some KSP, the game that's old, whose sequel may come out maybe one day. So I've been doing some thinking. And I think we need to forget all the rest of this shit. I think we need to focus on... let's see, where is it? We need to focus on this. We need to focus on precision engineering. Because precision engineering gives us the relay antenna. And with the relay antenna, we can make relays. Oh, yeah, and I moved the camera down because I realized it was like blocking a whole bunch of shit. So why do we want the relay antenna? Well, if we go out here, I could send... Oh, God, I've got a lot of debris out there. I could send a probe. Now, I'm pretty confident that I could send a probe out there and it could orbit the moon. But every time we get to the dark side of the moon, I lose line of sight with, Kerbal, and I will lose all control. So big whoop, Plus, when I start sending, manned missions out to the moon, if I don't have a relay, I'm going to lose contact with them. Which, it's not as bad as, losing contact with a probe because you've got a Kerbal there and you can still control it. But I won't be able to send any transmissions. So, if I really want to take full advantage of future missions, not just to the moon, but out here to Minimus, I really need to up my communication game. And to do that, I need relays. I need something that can orbit the moon, that a lander on the dark side can communicate with to send information back. And with relays, I can create basically a communication network around Kerbin and in extreme far out orbit, which will basically ensure that I never lose communication with anything within this sphere of influence. So that's what we're going to focus on getting instead. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, we recently acquired solar panels. So, instead of doing another manned mission, we're going to build a lander. We're going to land on the moon with a probe. Right now, we don't need that much... Here. Yeah. Right now, we don't need that much science. Because right now, we don't need that much science. We don't need that much to really get things going. We don't need that much to get communications. So, mission flag. Oh, good. So we're going to use an R-2-1 because that was very, very successful. Whoop. Something pissed Tyler off. You good, buddy? Just ran right across the room. So we're going to use this rocket. But we're going to get rid of this crew capsule. So we're going to delete this fairing. And I'm going to look over here real quick. Okay, good. The camera's not blocking anything. These are all the parts. You guys haven't seen that yet. Those of you who haven't actually played the game. I'm still not thrilled with all these. But until we get, some more advancements, I can't really get rid of this. Well, you know what? Nah, because if I do that, I want that to be the R-1-2. And not yet. But since this is just a... Well, nah, you know what? This is just a probe. So we can get rid of this. We've already got the science for that. We can get rid of this. We already got the science for that. We can get rid of the magnetometer here. We already have the science. We can get rid of this. And we can get rid of this. Alright? Then, we can bring this down. We can get rid of this. We can actually just get rid of all this. So what we have left, and we can't actually do anything, we can't move the camera around without a probe body. So what we have left is the rocket. We're going to use a Staputnik module as our base because it weighs much, much less than the Probadoo. Yeah, it weighs like half as much. And weight's going to be important for this. So we have this, and then we have the rest of this rocket to get to the surface of the moon. I'm going to go for a lander, and I'm going to try to do this so where I don't even have to get into an orbit. Like, I just leave, get to the moon, reverse thrust, and fucking land. That's what I'm going to try to do. So the first thing we're going to need is something to act as a base on this thing. And I'm thinking that ought to be... I can probably make one out of these. Yeah, alright. So it's going to be something like this. I'm going to keep them as straight as possible. So that'll be our base. It's a little bit, you know, chunker, but that's important. And let's see. We're going to need power. And to get power, we're going to use these. And I'm going to rotate them so they're long ways, like this. Boom. Like this. Like this. Like this. Well, maybe angled isn't such a bad idea, you know? Like... You know, we're not going to get full coverage, but then again, we don't know in what direction we're going to land. So, we land right here, you know, we're at least getting this and this. Yeah, actually, that's not a bad plan. I think this is good. This is a good configuration. We're going to need communication, and for that we'll use one of these. And each one of these, like, wings, these little sections here, are going to be, like, they're going to have their own function. So this little arm here, this is going to be communication. I'm going to have 2 redundant communication lines. One here, and one on the probe itself. The reason being, if we land weird and we lose this arm, I don't want to lose control of the probe. I don't want to lose the ability of the probe to communicate. That being said, if we land weird and we lose this arm, chances are we're going to lose the entire probe. But, you know, redundancy is good in this circumstance. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to have... I actually do have some landing legs. I got some landing legs. So we'll do this. And there we go. All right. So this thing will have the ability to land on each one of these things. And we'll start retracted. Alright. Next thing we're going to want is we're going to want to dump all the science that we can fit. Now obviously we can't fit this. You know, there's really no way to put it, nowhere to put it unless we like put it on top of the probe. And while I realize that that's... You know, that's efficient, and that would work. It looks ugly. I mean, look at that. That doesn't look like a probe. That looks like a thing that I made in a video game. Which it technically is, but, you know, I'm role-playing here. I'd like to treat this as realistic, you know. So we're going to use this. This will be one of the science modules, one of the science legs. This will have temperature and pressure. I expect it will read extremely cold and no pressure. But we don't know that yet because we haven't landed on the moon. Next, the magnetometer thing can actually work on the moon. It can actually work in space and on the surface. So we'll have a magnetometer, boom. Like, right there. Let's see, what else can I fit? I guess I can fit a goo experiment thing on this arm as well. There we go.
I'm not sure, but I found some information.
Holy shit!
Experiment show.
God damn it! Shut up, Google!
Okay.
Oh my god! Yeah, it fucked up. That scared the fucking cat, too. Jesus. I don't know, it was just like a voice all of a sudden. So anyway, I have the goo container, not Google. So I have the goo container, and it's looking like that's probably everything I can fit. I mean, obviously there's no fucking water on the moon that's liquid. That's just an experiment storage kit. That's not going to work on the surface, though it may work in transit. And that's too big. So, alright, so we have all the science that we can do. Now we need some batteries. Yeah, a bunch of these. A bunch of these ought to do it. Yeah, so we'll put like 1, 2 batteries there. And like a battery here. That should be more than enough power. Much more than enough power. Alright. So next, and this is to save space. Well, nah, fuck it. Fuck it. We'll have kind of a wonky fairing. It'll look kind of weird. That'll be fine. So next what we're going to do is we need the actual landing thruster. We don't really have anything that's very small, but let's take a look. I'm going to deploy these legs here just to give an idea of like what I'm dealing with. These little hydrogen tanks, you know, considering they can go up inside each other and be 4D, they might actually be worth it to have. Ah, fuck. Let me try it again. They might be worth it to have in here, because I might be able to, like, crunch them up inside each other. There we go. That's cheesing the system. So now that they're all crunched up inside each other, and inside of the legs... Oh, I guess I could have done it that way, too. Yeah, that's... that... You ever see... I don't know how familiar you guys are with Half-Life, but you remember the Grunt Arc? That looks like the Grunt Arc, but in probe form. But let me try something real quick before I go with that. Because we can also fit them inside here. There. That looks a little bit more respectable, and then all I gotta do is, like, move some things out of the way so they're not clipping through it too horribly. Like, that can go there. And the batteries, I guess, can stay where they are. That's fine. But it's going through the, it's going through some of the solar panels. I mean, I can move them slightly out of the way. Or go with different solar panels, but nah. Nah, let me just... I just want to make sure of something here. Yeah, that should be okay. That should be okay. I may want to take this outside and just make sure that the fact that there's a thing here doesn't mean the entire panel doesn't work. Because that would really suck. You know what? Fuck it. If there's any doubt, don't worry about it. Use the little panels. They're just as good. They take up less room. I can do the same basic thing there. And because they're smaller and more compact, I can fit more of them, like, on here. So I can, like, put them in different places where they otherwise might not work. Like, I can't put one there, but I can put one... You know, I can put them at the edge here, or, like, here, because we don't have anything blocking it. And I can even put them on the fuel tanks if I do this. Yeah, just maximizing the amount of available power is what I want to do. Because once we get out there, if something goes wrong, then that's it. I can't really do anything. But I think this will be okay. And now for the booster. Let's see. These are... You know, these are LH2 and Ox. So they're cryogenic, which means I need a cryogenic engine. What am I using on the original here? I think I'm using a Terrier. But a Terrier, well, that's liquid. No, I'm not using that. I might be using a Stromboli cryogenic engine, or no, I'm definitely using a Stromboli engine. Or I could use this. No way. Or I could use that. No. So I'm using a Stromboli, and I can actually whittle this down to 1. And all right, I gotta move these fuel containers out here, because for this to work, this needs to be here. Like, it needs to be in the center. I need center of I need center of mass. Which means that the fuel tanks are going to basically be inside of the booster. Which, on any other world, would not work. But this is 4D world. And that works. So, boom. And we've got these, so that, and then I can take these and move them away because this thing, like, swole up inside. And I can actually put them... I can actually put them here and then just move this a little bit further. Or not. Damn it. I keep having to reposition. I don't have time to reposition these tanks all the damn day. I got shit to do. There we go. That actually works even better. Kinda. It works better. Kinda. Well, they're not inside the, booster anymore, so that's a plus. And we've got everything. So really the big problem is just these solar panels. Well, I can put them here. Then they're like inside of that. Well, actually, no, that works. That's good. I mean, the thing looks like a tumor, but hey, it doesn't have to be aerodynamic, does it? So, let's see. These will feed into the Stromboli. I kind of want to... I want to test this. Oh, we got to come up with a name. You know what? I'm going to call this... I'm going to call this... Sticking... Well... Let's see. What's a good probe name? What's a good little probe name? TYLOR. I'm gonna name probe after you, you small horrible cat. So this is gonna be TYLOR. TYLOR 1. And this will be the first ship with a description. The first MUN probe. Yes, and MUN is how it's spelled in KSP. So we're gonna save this, and we're gonna launch it. Just to make sure that booster can interact with the probe, with the fuel tanks. Because if it can't, then once the thing turns to start to try and land, we're gonna be fucked. So just activate that engine. All right, so it actually works, and not only does it work, it fucking lifts itself up off the ground in Kerbal gravity, which is pretty spectacular. That means it'll definitely be able to like maneuver around on the surface, or at least land. We do need some kind of control, like we need some kind of ability to move around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give it 3 gyroscopic control units, and we're gonna give it a MechJeb landing, like a MechJeb guidance unit, and that will go on the communications arm. Yeah, that'll go on the communications arm, and it will do that. And I think with this sticking up out of there, that actually is okay. Actually, you know what? Fucking why risk it? Why fucking risk it? There. Now it's on the side. So we're gonna save that. And shit. Alright, so in testing it, we accidentally deleted most of the booster, which is fine. There are ways to get around that. So we're gonna save that and we're gonna launch it. And we're just gonna test it. And I'm also going to try and keep these episodes 30 minutes or under. So chances are we're going to have to launch in the next episode, which, alright, that's fine. So, let's see. Boom. And we have no pilots on the ground left. Let's revert flight to launch and just see how MechJeb handles... Let's see how MechJeb handles ascent. Part of the way I roleplay KSP is I try to, like, especially when it comes to probes, I try to let MechJeb do it because in my mind that's actually realistic. Because if you think about it, you know, it's unmanned. You're basically letting the computer do a whole lot of the work. So we're just going to see how MechJeb's able to control it with ease. So I'm going to disengage autopilot at about 1,000, and I'm going to make sure this thing can land. And if it can land under Kerbal conditions, it can land on the moon. Alright, disengage. Landing guidance. Land somewhere. Alright. How are we on battery? We're actually super good on battery. We've got a lot of battery power on this thing. So now we're up in the air, we're falling. Okay, MechJeb, kick in. If that booster's working, we've got lots of fuel. And I think we're gonna land safe. Holy shit. That's a nice little test. Tyler, the probe works. You damn cat. It lands good. Everything's oriented correctly. Let's see if I can control from here. That doesn't change anything. That's a good test. And hey, since we're here, let's just get some science. Even though I don't think I'm going to get any science out of this. We got like 1. Hey, every little bit counts. Log temperature, log pressure, yeah, all that shit's already been done to death. And we've got good ground clearance, kinda. So yeah, all right. Recover vessel. It's 0.1 science. You know, it's a minuscule, inconsequential amount, but hey, it's something. So I earned 0.1 science. I got 73. All right. I think that's good. I think that'll be a good probe. So, yeah. Join me next time, and we will launch this thing. Into space. We'll launch Tyler into space.